Hey, podcasting entrepreneurs, I have something I want to share with you today. It's something that I was just having a discussion with another entrepreneur, and we were talking about the C word. It's something that can really crush our dreams, our goals, our passions, our purposes as an entrepreneur, as someone who's a podcaster wanting to make more money with our business through podcasting. And that thing is comparison. So I was on a call earlier with my buddy, my good friend, member of my coaching program, Marty White, and we were discussing the health and fitness world, health coaches, personal trainers, fitness entrepreneurs, wellness entrepreneurs, and that whole world, and how there's a lot of comparison. You know, if you're in a gym, that's something that's just we're prone to do. You're comparing yourself to other people. And as we were having this discussion, we were talking about comparison as it relates to entrepreneurs. But what it made me think of is something that I share with my private high-ticket clients, my inner circle, as you could call it. I don't really have a name for them right now, but my group members that are members of my high ticket inner circle. And what we talk about is comparison, but we talk about it in a different way, because my story, which many of you may know, and a lot of people see that and they become intimidated, is that I was able to grow our podcast to averaging over 150,000 listeners a month. Now, while this is something to aspire to, and you should have expectations that you can grow your podcast and reach as many of your ideal customers/listeners as you can, you don't need to compare yourself to those numbers. And the reason I bring this up, I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I'm actually talking about some of the conversations I have with other podcasters when they reach out to me through a breakthrough call and whatever we're talking about. A lot of times they're a little bit stuck where I just don't see myself ever getting that many listeners, so I don't think I'm going to be successful like you were. I don't see how I'm going to make over $500,000 from my podcast like you did with yours and your client and your previous business. And I tell them, there's no need to compare yourself to those numbers. We were different. That was us. That was our podcast. You are you. And your podcast is different. Your ideal customer listeners are different. Everything about you is different. You do not need to compare yourself to our numbers. And here's the thing. You do not have to get over 150,000 downloads or listens a month. You don't have to do that to be successful. I spoke with another entrepreneur recently who was a podcaster, and his numbers are so much lower than that. And he turned it into a six-figure plus business. And we shared strategies on how he did that. And I employ those strategies now myself, and I use them with my clients as well. So I want you to know this. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to compare yourself to those numbers that I have. I don't want you to think, well, he was that successful with his podcast, with making that type of income from his podcast for his digital course business because he had huge numbers. The key is to find the right ideal customer/listener. I always call them customer/listener because I believe as an entrepreneur with a podcast, you aren't just looking for listeners, you're looking for customers, you're looking for clients. So once you dial that person in and you know exactly who that person is, and you go out and get them, and then you build that relationship with them, you create that tribe, you do not need to have massive numbers. What you need to have is someone who is an evangelist. I have a hard time with that word every time. An evangelist for your business, for your mission, someone that connects with your purpose, someone that is your ideal customer listener. But on top of that, when you pair that and you get that dialed in, niche down to that right person, you also want to pair that with the correct monetization strategy. When you put those two together, boom, you've just created a successful business. So stop comparing yourself to others. Stop worrying about, hey, that entrepreneur gets 20,000 downloads a month. That entrepreneur has, 150 reviews, I've only got 10. Start focusing on reaching the right person with your mission, with your purpose, attract them to you, and then provide the correct strategy to monetize that person, and you're going to be fine. You're going to make enough money to sustain your business, to create the freedom that you want, whatever your expectations are on the back end, you're going to be able to do it. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I know I often feel bad about sharing those numbers because I want people to know how successful we were, but at the same time, I don't want to put up some sort of roadblock in front of other aspiring podcasting entrepreneurs where they think I'll never be able to achieve that amount of listeners. And I want to tell you, you don't have to do it. So if you're interested in learning more about your podcast, how you can monetize that podcast, I'll put my link in here to my breakthrough calls. And believe me, I'm not going to sell you. It's not a pitch fest on this call. You can actually read the reviews on my Facebook page and see what others have said about those calls. But what I'd like you to do is just call me and let's talk about some things and figure out where you are, what you need to do. And I guarantee you, you will walk away with at least one thing you can implement in your business with your podcast to start making more money, to start attracting more listeners. Whatever your goal is, we'll give you at least one thing at a minimum. I like to over deliver, so I'm thinking you'll probably get 2 or 3. And I will tell you, in all just being totally transparent, 100% authentic, at the end of the call, I'm not going to pitch you, I'm not going to sell you, but I am going to say, hey, if you want to continue to work with me, we can take it somewhere else, we can continue to work together, because I've helped serve some of my other clients, and I don't want to, if there's somebody out there that needs me and needs my services, it's my obligation to help them, because the abundance that comes to me needs to continue to flow through me to you, and then flow through you to your listeners and to your customers. So I hope that helps everybody. I will talk to you soon. Make it a great day.